Hello, this is Sheshachalam from Astrology Mysore. I have been getting a lot of queries on this one topic, whether Rashi Kundali is important or Bhava Kundali is important. So actually there are two entities of the same chart. Like if somebody asks whether I predict only from the Rashi Kundali or the Navamsha Kundali, I will not be able to predict only from the Navamsha Kundali. It is impossible. Navamsha Kundali, it is part of the Rashi Kundali. The same way, Bhava means house. It is nothing related to the avastha of the planet. To find out whether a planet is in a Kendra from ascendant or Trikona from ascendant, whether it's in the 6th house, 8th house, 9th house, only house. Bhava means house. So to see whether a planet is in a particular house, we need to see the Bhava chart. So what is the importance of that? Why should we see the Bhava chart then? For example, in this particular chart, we see that in every chart, that doesn't mean that the ascendant will be sitting exactly at 15 degrees in the middle of the Rashi Kundali. Rashi. If ascendant is, everybody's ascendant, let us say, assumed throughout the world, everybody's ascendant is sitting at 15 degrees in the middle of every Rashi, then Bhava chart is not required. But here, the ascendant is not in the middle, but it's on the edge. So, what is the first house? If the ascendant, for example, in this case, is at 15 degrees exact in Vrishabha Rashi, that is in Taurus, then that means Vrishabha becomes the first house. Full of Vrishabha. 30 degrees of Vrishabha becomes first house. But if it is on the edge of it, how can Vrishabha become the first house? Only because we assume that it is in the middle. If I take it in the middle at 15 degrees of Vrishabha, then either side of it, that is 15 degrees on either side, will be the first house. Right? But if in this case it is somewhere here at 0 degree 54 minutes, how can the whole of 30 degrees be in the first house? So that means the first house will not have only Vrishabha, it will have little bit of Mesha and little bit of Vrishabha. I will now make you understand that. This is very important to understand. Simply going by only the Rashi chart, telling that, sir, I have Mars in the 4th house, you are telling it is in the 5th house, how? Simply just like that blind, we should not argue. We should understand what is equal bhava. I am only talking about equal bhava. There are different types of bhava charts. I am talking only about equal bhava as on date. It is easy to do it, and we are still in the basics. We are not in the master level. We are in the basics. So let us first go slowly and understand that this is how it is, and this is how the bhava chart is related to it, and this is how it works. So I have put a chart inside a chart. I have, it's something like I have put a miniature chart inside of the chart so that it will be easy for us to understand what actually the Bhava chart is doing and where actually it's getting posited. So I will cut the houses now before even thinking about the planets. We will see all the planetary degrees after that. So at 0 degree 54 minutes. So at 0 degree 54 minutes it's somewhere like 1 degree. So let us say it is somewhere here. 0 degree 54 minutes. So, because it is 0 degree 54 minutes, if I add 15 degrees, it will be 15 degrees 54 minutes on the second side. That is, now I have put this line somewhere in the middle. So, it will be somewhere here. It is 15:54. Okay. So, on this side also it is 15:54. That is 15 degrees 54 minutes. Let us make an exact, it's not an approximation, it is exact now. So this is the Bhava Madhya of the first house. Bhava Madhya of the first house. That means this whole thing is the first house. Whichever planet is there inside this will remain in the first house. All the other planets will either be shunting out to the 12th house or to the second house, depending on the degrees. So that means if at all there was a planet here, let us say moon was here at say 20 degrees, what would have happened? It would have gone to the second house first part. Purvardha, Uttarardha. Purvardha means first half. Uttarardha means second half. It would have been in the Purvardha part. So please do not have this confusion at all. You need to first cut the chart and then see where the planets are getting placed. So now here at 15 degrees 54 minutes, the second house will start and it will come till let me use one color. 1554. It is here I should be here. 1554 of 1554. So you can see that this particular position, this particular house, this particular space of 30 degrees between half of Vrishabha Rashi and half of Mithun Rashi, that is half of Taurus and half of Gemini, will fall in the second house. It will take the split characteristics. So I'll tell you about it. You will understand when I put the planets there. So this particular 30 degrees will take the third house. So I am going slow today because I want to clear this concept. I am continuously getting doubts and I don't want these doubts to come at this level. After 100 and some 105 classes, people should not ask me whether Rashi Kundli is important or Bhava Kundli is important. Both are important. You are not supposed to ask that question at all. But anyway, if you have asked that question, that means there is some doubt, right? I am clarifying it. I am not telling it's a wrong question. It's a right question, but by now it should have got solved because I have already done this once. But I am doing it in detail now. Okay. So 15 degrees 54, once again here it is 15 degrees and 54 minutes. So here Mars is at 26 degrees 49 minutes. So that means this fellow will go below. So Mars retro 26, I think it was 49, correct? 2649. Okay. So I think now people are able to understand that Mars is nowhere in the fourth house. But as per the Rashi Kundli, you just put the chart and see 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, Mars is in fourth house, sir. It's in your friend's house. It has to give fantastic results. Anyway, it will give results here because it is still in the friend's house and it will be in the fifth house. It will be fantastic. So this Mars, let me complete it. Then I will come to that particular point. 15 degrees. Once again here I will have to cut this particular house. 15 degrees 54 minutes and again 15 degrees 54 minutes. So this is this side. This side. I have been doing on the other side, so let me do it on the other side. This particular thing from here till half of this, half of this Rashi. I am cutting this Rashi diagonally because it's on the corner. So half of this Rashi will be 30 degrees and in that you have Rahu and Mars placed in it. While Rahu is at 4 degrees and it is very much within 15 degrees 54 minutes, so it takes up both these planets. So now you can see it gives you a different interpretation. You cannot simply interpret Rahu in the 6th house. Oh, fantastic position. 6th Rahu gives this, that. No, Rahu is actually in the 5th house. It will give all the results of the 5th house. You know that Rahu and Mars in the 5th house will give rise to Sarpa dosha or Sarpa yoga, whatever. But Maybe here it is not that strong because there are so many planets aspecting this particular point. You can see that 26 degrees here, and you can see that all these planets are here, so they are aspecting. You can also see that Jupiter is aspecting, so nothing to worry. But still, Rahu is not in the 6th, it has gone back to the 5th house. Okay, let me now go ahead faster and come to this point. 15 degrees, 54, and once again, this is how I was doing it. 15, 54, and yeah, it is somewhere here, so it will be here. So 15 degrees, 54. So once again, 15 degrees, 54. So what has happened is, this is the 6th house, this is the 5th house, and this is the 7th house. This is the 8th house, and this is the 9th house. This is the 10th house, and you can see now the confusions will start. You will understand. So it's somewhere 15 degrees. 4 minutes is somewhere here, but I have written so many planets are there. So there is only one planet which actually comes back, that is Ketu. Ketu is in the 11th house. Who? Only Ketu. Ketu is in the 11th house. 15 degrees 54 minutes. Saturn is at 1650. So from here till here, it is the 12th house. And we should understand that these planets, Saturn, Sun, Venus and Mercury, are in the 12th house. So now let us write the Bhava chart. This is the Bhava chart. The outer shell is the Rashi. Outer shell is the Rashi chart, and this is the Bhava chart. Okay, so let us write now. So ascendant, that will not change. Please don't do something and put the ascendant somewhere. Ascendant is in Vrishabha Rashi, and it is the midpoint of the first house. Ascendant point is clearly placed in the Vrishabha Rashi, Kritika Nakshatra, second quarter, that is second Amsha, and first Amsha of the Vrishabha Rashi, very clear. So, who are in the first house? Nobody. Nobody, you can see that. Nobody is in the first house. Who is there in the second house? Nobody. No planet. Third house, no planet. Fourth house, no planet. So 1, 2, 3, 4 vacant. Fifth, we have Mars and Rahu. Mars and Rahu in the fifth. Sixth, no. Seventh, nothing. Eighth, nothing. So this is the eighth house. Nothing. So when I go to the ninth house, nothing in the ninth. You can see this. Here if you again, traditionally if you suddenly think without the Bhava, traditionally also people were doing Bhava Kundali. Some people have not learnt it, that doesn't mean that it was not existing earlier. So ascendant, 7th, 8th, 9th is from the midpoint. But midpoint here finishes here. So that means 15 degrees 54 minutes, the 9th house finishes. There are no planets in the 9th house. But in the 9th Rashi, from ascendant, 9th Rashi means Vrishabha, Mithuna, Karka, Simha, Kanya, Tula, Vrishchika, Dhanur, Makara. Makara is the 9th Rashi from Vrishabha, correct? From Vrishabha it is 9th Rashi. There are planets in the 9th Rashi, but not in the 9th house. There are planets in the 9th Rashi, but not in the 9th house. I'll take interpretation is a little tough, but anyway, people have to learn this. So, Jupiter and Moon are in the 10th. So, this is 1, this is 2, 3, 4, this is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So who is in the 11? Nobody other than Ketu. The 12th house is fully cramped up. I tell you, fully. So we have Venus, Sun, Saturn, Mercury. Now, if anybody tells that we should only see the Rashi chart, you will be interpreting it totally wrong. Why? Because you will be seeing the Rashi chart and you will be interpreting it as Jupiter and Moon have given rise to a Gajakesari yoga in the 9th house. As actually, Jupiter and Moon have given a Gajakesari yoga in the 10th house. But they acquire the characteristics of the nakshatras on which they are present and the Rashi in which they are present from the Rashi Kundali. I'll again repeat this. Jupiter and Moon both are present in this Rashi, Shravana Nakshatra. They both are in Shravana Nakshatra because here the nakshatras are Uttarashada Trayo, 3 Uttarashada Pada, Shravana 4, 1, 2, 3 Uttarashada, Shravana 1, 2, 3, 4, Dhanishta 1, Dhanishta 2, 9. So, one not there, that is the only 9 padas, that is 9 amshas. Uttarashada Trayo, Uttarashada 3, 2, Uttarashada 3, Uttarashada 4, then Shravana 1, 2, 3, 4, then Dhanishta 1, Dhanishta 2. So, this is in Shravana Nakshatra. This is also in Shravana Nakshatra. Very clear. From 20 degrees to 23 degrees 20 minutes is one amsha of this chart. Very clearly in the Shravana Nakshatra. It's a beautiful combination. This has protected this chart from adversities because there are many difficult combinations in the chart. And this one combination itself is a Raja Yoga which gives extreme heavy weightage to the chart, though Jupiter is debilitated. Though it is debilitated. Okay? So, let us not go into, I will go into the Amsha chart later on a little bit, but let us first finish this. Chandra and Guru are getting the, characteristics from Shravana Nakshatra. Let us see which Amsha it is. Uttarashada Nakshatra will be till 10 degrees. This is Uttarashada Nakshatra. Uttara-ashada. Because earlier 3 degrees 20 minutes also was Uttarashada in Dhanu Rashi. So this was 1, 2, 3, 4. Uttarashada Nakshatra. So after that you have Shravana first Amsha, that is till 13 degrees 20 minutes. Shravana second Amsha till 16 degrees 40 minutes. And Shravana third Amsha till 20 degrees. And Shravana 4 between 20 to 20 degrees 23 degrees 20 minutes. So 20 to 23 degrees 20 minutes is Shravana 4. So Jupiter and Moon both are Jupiter and Moon are in Shravana 4, fourth quarter, inside which Capricorn Rashi, but in the 10th house.
Please write that side.
This is how you have to interpret it. If people can do this interpretation, then their prediction, accuracy of prediction will increase a little bit. You need to go further deep into it, but for the while, for basics, people to understand what is Bhava Kundali, this is extremely important. To go into the next level, if I put another chart here, you people will all go, God bless, because it will be Navamsha inside. I will not put that chart here, because if I put that chart, it's like Moon, Shravana 4, you know where it will fall? Shravana 4 will fall 1, 2, 3, 4. That means, in the Navamsha, both Jupiter is exalted and Moon is in its own house. Such a beautiful combination this is. That is why I tell people should not see the chart just on its face value. Go into the details. Shravana 4, moon is in the first line. I have told you this. First line. And the first line, first pada, that is first amsha falls here. Second amsha falls here. Third amsha falls here. Fourth amsha falls here. That is Shravana 1, Shravana 2, Shravana 3, Shravana 4. That is Shravana Nakshatra 3 degrees 20 minutes. Shravana Nakshatra 6 degrees 40 minutes. Shravana Nakshatra 10 degrees. Shravana Nakshatra 13 degrees 20 minutes. That is only for Shravana Nakshatra I am telling. If I tell about the Capricorn, Capricorn starts from here because it is Chararashi. Uttarashada third pada, Uttarashada fourth pada, Uttarashada second pada, Uttarashada third pada, Uttarashada fourth quarter, Shravana 1, Shravana 2, Shravana 3, Shravana 4. Then you get Dhanishta 1, Dhanishta 2. So the Navamsha of Capricorn starts from here and ends here. That means Shravana 4. What a beautiful combination. This debilitation is only a face value. Intrinsic value is that it is actually exalted. There is Nichabanga Raja Yoga. This is a chart of a strong Nichabanga Raja Yoga. So I am not going into all details now. I am just telling you this much because this is how Bhava chart has to be interpreted. This person will have good karma. I am not talking about profession. Karma, people think that 10th house only profession. 10th house means waking up in the morning is also 10th house. You are getting up. Your activity has started. Your karma has started. Every deed, everything you do in this world is 10th house. Everything. But how you breathe, how you live your health, that is not 10th house. That is not karma. That is prarabdha. Prarabdha karma means it is the fate which has been linked with your bija, that is your seed due to which you are born here. So let us not go into that karma, but this karma means that you have a good, path in which you can execute your karma in a good way because this is a fantastic position. So let us go into this cramped up thing. You'll understand now. If I would have seen this and simply told, I would not be giving emphasis to the 12th house at all. No emphasis. We think that, gone. Everything is beautiful, sir. 11th house. This person is having extraordinary 11th house. Where is the 11th house? There is nothing in the 11th house other than Ketu. This is a good position for Ketu. So let it be in the 11th house, untouched. Actually, Rahu in the 11th and Ketu in the 5th would have been better. But anyway, we can't do anything about this. The seed is the one which actually the soul has decided to enter into. But anyway, here we can see that when we interpret, we will see that Venus, the 6th lord, is in the 12th house but is exalted and combust. That should be the level of grasping. Venus is the 6th lord because it is even the ascendant lord, but still I am telling it is the 6th lord and the ascendant lord placed in the 12th house. 12th house means you should go into the Bhava Kundali. 6th lord means you can go into the Rashi Kundali because the midpoint of every house will fall exactly in the sign number from it. So 6 means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6th lord, midpoint is here only, 0 degrees. So the midpoint of the 6th house is here at 0 degrees 54 minutes. This is Paka. So it falls in Chitta Nakshatra, 3rd Pada, that is 3rd quarter. But anyway, so we should tell our sentence formation should be Ascendant Lord and 6th Lord has fallen in the 12th house but is exalted, very near to exaltation because it is getting exalted in another 7 degrees or 8 to 9 degrees it gets exalted, but it is combust because it is within, it's only 9 minutes from sun. It's totally combust. Okay, so that is how it has to be interpreted. Secondly, if somebody tell that there is a Buddha Aditya Yoga in the Bhava chart, again it will be wrong. If you go to the Bhava chart, and simply you should not tell that there is a Buddhaditya Yoga. Buddhaditya Yoga happens if Buddha and Aditya, that is Sun and Mercury, are in a close mutual relationship other than being combust. Buddha should not be combust. It should be at least 5 degrees away from Sun, a minimum of, and then within 15 degrees from Sun, and then being placed in the same house, not in the same Rashi. Because earlier days it was synonymous. They understood what they were telling. They would tell it that Buddha and Sun in the same Rashi gives rise to Buddhaditya Yoga. How will it happen if Buddha is at 1 degree and Sun is at 29 degree? It will not happen. I have seen many charts where it doesn't happen at all, it fails. So here also, Sun is at 1935 and Buddha is at 815, very far away from each other. And though they are sitting in the 12th house in the Bhava Kundali, do not interpret yoga simply seeing the Bhava chart or the Rashi chart. You need to see each and every chart in detail. So, if I give a sentence that if I simply tell that there is a Sunapa Yoga, where is Sunapa Yoga from Moon? There is no Sunapa Yoga or Anapa Yoga. The Kemodruma Yoga is also not there because Jupiter is very closely posited with Moon. So all these yogas have to be interpreted by seeing the degrees of the Rashi Kundali, going deep into it, doing this particular exercise, and then coming to a conclusion. Do not predict charts the minute you see the chart. Go into the details of each and every planet. Understand which planet in which particular nakshatra, what it is trying to tell you, what it is actually trying to do there in the chart. Whether it is trying to harm the chart, whether it is trying to warn you because of some adversity, or it is going to give you a fantastic a luck boon or something like that. We need to see each and every intricacy and then go and interpret it. So thank you very much for today's class. Let us see whether this particular thing has got solved. I want the comments from all those people who have actually asked me this question. Many people have asked this question whether Bhava Kundali is important, Rashi Kundali is important. Both cannot be compared. They are different, but they are the same. Have to be kept side to side and then interpreted. Please study this and then come back to me. Thank you very much.
You can refer the Bhava chart which has been done earlier.
Yeah, I have earlier done how to construct a Bhava chart, which is once again going to give you insight into the same level of details, but today I have done a different way of interpretation, like putting a chart into a chart. Earlier I had put 2 charts. So thank you very much for today's class.